Hi everyone, I'm Ryland,
And I'm Robin.
and we are starting a gaming channel, and so we thought it would be a good idea to do a video game tag. Basically just questions that give you an idea as to what kind of games we like to play, and therefore what games you'll see on our channel. So, without further ado, let's go. Alright, first question is, at what age did you start playing games? For me, it was 2 years old, and it was Mortal Kombat. My mom was really not that great at picking correct games for children to play.
I was probably about 4 or 5. I don't remember my first game ever. Number 2, what was the first game you remember playing?
Alright, I remember playing Mortal Kombat, as mentioned before, but I don't remember it super well. But the first game I do remember playing really vividly, I don't even remember if this is the actual name of it, but I called it Maze, and it was on the Super Nintendo, and it was a fighting game, and I don't know, I
just don't know what it is?
I don't remember what it is, like, I don't know.
Would you know if you saw it?
Yeah.
Let's look up an NES, like, every game ever for the Super Nintendo.
We should first look up Maze.
Good call. The first game I remember playing was Rocket's Tricky Decision on the PC. I was playing visual novels in 1998.
Question number 3. Do you identify as a gamer? I do.
No.
She does not.
No.
I've played games frequently since being a kid, and I'm still playing them now, and I play them frequently, and for a large part of my life, that was the majority of what I did, except for like school and like studying and being a nerd. I was two kinds of nerd, so.
I play games. I don't consider myself a gamer because I do other things more than I play games.
Yeah.
So.
Question number 4. Why do you play games? Well, for me...
You have a better answer than me.
Oh, do I?
Mine is one word.
Fun!
No.
Is it? Oh, okay.
Escapism.
Oh, mine is also escapism to an extent. Yeah, because my childhood was not the most exciting or great, and so I always felt more at home in games because I role-played games, whether or not they were even like role-playing games. Like I kind of immersed myself in the world, and so now playing it now that my life is better and stuff, it's still comforting to play the games and put myself in that world, and so that's why I play them, because I have a really good time and it's really comforting to me. Escapism.
Mine was just escapism. That's all I got. Like that's. I mean.
All right.
Number 5. What is your current favorite game?
Pokemon Y.
Pokemon Y. My
Pokemon
favorite is American McGee's Alice in Wonderland, because we are currently in the middle of playing that. We haven't finished it yet.
It's a fun game. It's a fun game.
It's a fun game.
Best and worst memory from a game. So my best memory is beating Zelda Ocarina of Time, or The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, for the N64 for the first time, because I was really young and like I was trying so hard to beat the thing, and I couldn't even get to the part where you grew up. I kept being little young Link trying to collect these little stones. And then after like a year of playing that game and being young and dumb, I finally beat it, and it was just, wow, I beat Ganon, and it was so great. So yeah, that's probably like just like the shining moment for me as a kid gamer, and so it sticks with me. But the worst moment was, I can't boil it down to a moment, but I had the worst time playing another N64 game called Mystic Ninja, starring Goemon or something like that. Goemon. Correct me. Yeah, that game you needed a save pack for. I did not have a save pack for it, so I'd have to keep the entire N64 running constantly while I tried to beat the game. Then when I went to bed, I had to leave it on overnight. And then my mom would always come in the room and be like, why is this on? And turn it off. And then every time I'd be like, you ruined my game! And then she'd be like, oh, sorry, don't leave your games on. And yeah, I finally beat it one time after playing it for like 36 hours in a row. And yeah, it was a struggle. And I got really good at that at the beginning parts. So here's that.
Yeah. My best memory is just kind of my entire childhood as a whole. Playing games with my cousins was like the thing that we did every time we were together. We would always play Smash and the Donkey Kong 64 like Kong battles. That's like all we did when we hung out. I can't think of one particular thing. But my worst memory, I just thought of, I didn't think I had one, but I have one.
Well,
I was like I don't know how far I was, but I was really far into Pokemon Gale of Darkness, and I was putting my feet up on my dresser, and I dropped my foot, and my heel turned off my GameCube, and I didn't save, and I had to start over.
save often.
And now I'm a spastic saver in every game that I play.
She is. What is a popular game or series that no matter how hard you try, you can't get into?
Call of Duty and Grand Theft Auto.
Halo 4 specifically, because I liked all the Halos up until Reach. I even liked, Halo Wars and all that. But Halo 4, for whatever reason, it just did not click with me. I did not enjoy it as much.
Number 8, what is a poorly received game that you love?
I had to think a lot on this one because I don't know.
I still don't know.
Poorly received. It's a vague thing because a lot of our friends might not like a game, but we looked it up and then it was like 5 stars or 4 stars, and we're like, okay. Out of 5, out of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the ones though that I don't hear a lot about is Infinite Undiscovery, which is a JRPG. And I haven't played too many JRPGs, but I do really like them. And that's one that's I didn't super love it, but I did enjoy it a lot. And yeah, I don't hear anything about it, and whenever I bring it up, no one knows anything about it. So obviously, it was either poorly received or not received.
The Star Fox Adventures on the Cube.
Oh.
I thought it was poorly received, but we looked it up, and it's actually like 4 out of 5 stars.
That's one of the examples of our friends not liking
yeah,
it. Yeah,
none of our friends like that game.
Yeah.
But I loved it. So.
Number 9. What is your guilty pleasure game? Alright, mine is one that Robin introduced me to very recently, and it's Magical Diary.
I'm trying to convince him to play dating sims with me on our channel, so I made him play that one with me because I already played it.
It'll happen.
It's gonna happen,
It'll
and
happen.
he likes making funny voices, and
I'll play
it's
any
really
game
fun.
once, but that one, I enjoyed it.
He almost refused, and then I just played it in front of him, and then he got into it, so go me.
Yeah.
Mine is similar. My guilty pleasure game is probably the Nancy Drew series. It's made for children. It's a point-and-click game made for children. You have a choice between Junior Sleuth when you're 5, or Master Sleuth when you're 10.
What about Roller Coaster Tycoon?
Roller Coaster Tycoon is
You play the original one though.
The very first Roller Coaster Tycoon is so fun.
Albeit the deluxe package. I will say, liking that game, not a guilty pleasure. Playing it
a lot. It's a time passer.
Starts to become a guilty pleasure.
It's a time passer game, and you know what? If we can't decide on what to play, I'm gonna open Roller Coaster Tycoon.
She does.
And that's the thing.
Without fail. Without fail.
Yep.
Number 10. What are your favorite genres? Mine, there's overlap on this one, but I like RPGs a lot. I like shooters. I like puzzles. I also really like survival games.
I like RPGs. I like specifically retro, like top-down RPGs. RPGs, platformers, puzzles, visual novels. It's kind of a new thing, but also kind of not, because like I said, I've been playing them since 1998, but I didn't know what they were until recently.
They had a revival in your interests.
Yep. Mostly probably platformer and RPG though.
Yeah. If I had to pick two, I'd probably go with platformer and RPG as well. Number 11. What is your perfect game?
A game where I can customize my character out of millions of choices of hair and face and clothes and make them look however I want, and then I would want it to be an open world RPG, preferably in third person, but I would like the option to switch to first if I wanted to, which I wouldn't want to. I just want my game to have elves. All elves. Everyone is an elf.
I'd want it to be a survival game. I would want a first-person shooter aspect to it, but I wouldn't want the whole game to be first-person. Not necessarily first-person. I would also want the entire environment to be very malleable. I'd want to be able to pick up anything I'd want, like whether it's a tuft of grass or, a brick or a ball or whatever I find, and like attach it to things, or throw them as weapons, even if they're not weapons. Like if it was a teddy bear, I try to kill something with it. I don't know, just like be very inventive and creative with the world around me. And I know that there are games out there that are like zombie survival, where you can craft things and stuff like that.
Like 7 Days to Die or Rust.
Yeah, things like that. Or like Dead Rising to an extent. But I don't want those kind of things to be like out of like a crafting book. I don't want a recipe booklet to like tell me what I can and can't make. I want to be able to just use the physics of the world to create things. So like if this is sticky and this is not, and I put them together, that will stick onto that. Things like that. And honestly, with current technology, that'd be really hard to do, and I understand that. But this is my perfect game, not my realistic game. So yeah. Aside from that, I would just want some kind of like randomization feature to like keep things fresh and new. Because I don't want, to play the same game over and over again.
Like a randomly generated world.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think that would probably content me.
I want a really nice soundtrack for my game.
Well, that's a given. You gotta have the good music.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want it to look pretty because that's always good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Number 12. What is a game which, in your opinion, is very overrated / underrated?
So 2 games.
So
one of
2
them
games.
is overrated and the other one is underrated.
Yeah. Well, the overrated one, I would definitely go with like Call of Duty. Don't get me wrong, it's a good game, but it's very overrated in the sense that like the game is more or less the same every single time. Yeah, you get a cool new, kill streak reward, and the gun looks a little different, does a little bit different damage, but overall it's the same game with just different maps. And when you release, the DLC for a new map pack, you're essentially sending out a whole new COD game to be played. And so I don't know, it's very recycled, and that's why I don't think it should be like so hyped up.
I don't know if I think it's overrated because I just don't understand it, but sports games, like all of the football games that come out every year,
God.
they're the exact same game over and over, but just like slightly better quality.
I'm gonna just that instead. I despise sports games just
I just
because
don't
of that.
understand it.
I have so much fun playing sports games, but I would never ever buy a
like
single
Madden
sports
13,
game.
14,
Yeah,
15.
it's just it.
They're all the
It
same
ticks
thing.
me off.
I
So
just don't get it.
I hate it to the point where I don't buy any of the games because I don't want to support that franchise at all.
I played a lot of Mario Tennis when I was a kid. That's it. That's my sports game.
I played a lot of Madden something on the original Xbox with my uncle.
Probably like 8 or 9 or something.
Ow.
No, I think those were on the 360.
No clue. I don't know. I don't really care. They're all kind of the same game. They just look
Same
prettier, as said before.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I fully enjoyed the game. Like, I got everything out of it that I should, and it was fun.
Yeah.
But the fact that they keep coming out with just like, here's the new stats from this year. Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, add some new stuff.
Oh, what's an underrated game? This is the hard part,
Wow,
because I
this is the
can't
hard
think of
part.
anything that's underrated.
I'm gonna go with a game called Pac-Man World for the PlayStation and possibly other consoles. I don't remember. It's 3D and it's not open world, but it is. And yeah, you're just Pac-Man going around collecting pellets and power pellets and eating fruit and beating up baddies.
I can't super think of a good one, so I'm gonna say Animal Crossing, because I don't think enough people give it a try.
Next question, number 13. Your favorite classic game? Are you gonna go with Tetris?
No, well,
No?
Tetris, yes.
If
I think Pokemon Red. I played that so much as a kid.
I play that a lot too, but I'm gonna go with a really weird one because I played it a lot with my little brother, and he always loved watching me play it. And it's called Dr. Robotnik's Lean Mean Bean Machine. It's basically like Puzzle Fighter or
Puzzle Fighter's a good one.
Bejeweled, etc. Yeah, it's just beans of different colors fall down the screen, and you gotta connect the beans of the right color and make combos, and then beat your friend. But really, it's just a computer player that I played against. And yeah, I don't know. Like, the game itself is very straightforward and basic, but I just have good memories with it, so it's my favorite classic game. Question number 14, who is your favorite game developer or franchise? So, I could go with the obvious Nintendo, but I also really love Valve a lot. Nintendo was just like all of my childhood, but me currently now, I like Valve a lot because of not only what they make, but the community that they have created with their games.
Shigeru Miyamoto / Nintendo. Franchise, Zelda, maybe? Mario or Zelda?
Yeah. If I had to go the franchise route, it would be a three-way tie between all the Pokemons, all the Zeldas, and all the Metroid games. Question number 15 is, what is your favorite game system and why? For me, I would say all time, I'd probably go with the N64 just because of the memories that it made, and I loved a lot of the games, played a lot of the games as a kid. But as of right now, like if I were to go play a game again, not for nostalgia, but just for enjoying the game, I would probably go with GameCube because it's just the controller's a whole lot better than the N64 is, and it's still like it was very revolutionary to me as a kid because like the graphics that came out were amazing, the games that came out were really enjoyable, and I have a lot of my favorite games that were on that console. So
yeah. I have pretty much the exact same answer. Most of my good memories playing games as a kid was from the 64. But I think my favorite console is probably the Cube, because I really like the controller, because the controller is just the perfect size for my hands. I have little abnormally small hands, and the controller is perfect for me. And a lot of my favorite games are on the GameCube, so.
take it back. I like the Wii better, not because the Wii has the new mechanics. I don't
You
even
can
like
use
those
the
mechanics.
GameCube controller on the Wii.
Yeah, that's why I like it, because it's backwards compatible and it still
Which is
offers
nice.
more games. So I mean,
Yeah.
it just wins by default. Question number 16, do you prefer playing alone or with friends? Another very vague question. I would say, doesn't really matter to me. Obviously, if it's like a more multiplayer oriented game, I like to play it with friends. Duh. If it's an RPG game, I would love playing it by myself as opposed to with friends, just because it's like a more personal thing to me. Like, it's a personal adventure. But I also don't mind playing it with friends, because, you know, it's an experience that you can share together. So,
Right.
I mean, I would, at the end of the day, I wouldn't have much of a preference.
If it's like a super story-driven game and it's a single-player game, I'll probably say I want to play it by myself. But like, if I were to pick a game to play, it would be like a party game. Like, if I wanted to play a game, I would be like, oh, I want to play Mario Party right now. So I would want to play with my friends, probably,
Yeah, so-
over playing by myself.
Number 17, what game have you clocked the most hours into? For me, if you're going with a singular game, I would go with Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. It was a really fun game, and I like played it over a bunch of times, and I clocked at least 300 hours into that game alone, probably closer to 400. But also, I spent way more time on all the Pokemon games together. I put in probably thousands of hours in total.
It doesn't clock hours, but probably WoW. I spent most of my time throughout high school playing WoW.
I consider that a valid answer.
Probably 2 years total playing WoW.
So much time. So much time. Okay. Question number 18 is, what sequel disappointed you the most? Halo 4, as mentioned before. I liked all the Halos up until then, and it was just really upsetting to see one kind of fall on the wayside for me.
Everything between Pokemon Crystal and Pokemon Y. I just hated all of them. So,
Why?
I don't know. I never played like Ruby or any of those until after I played Y, and I was just spoiled at that point, so they were just not good.
I will say Ruby.
But I also
was
heard
poo.
they were poo before I played them anyway.
Yeah, Ruby,
I
Sapphire, and
liked
Emerald.
Crystal
Not
a
so
lot,
good.
and so I just played that one a lot.
Crystal
And
was
I didn't
really
bother.
good.
I didn't bother after any.
Crystal
of
was really good.
that. Number 19, a game that you will never forget.
Can I say two?
You can say 2.
Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. Very, very fun games. I played them a lot as a kid, and I played them with my mom a lot as like a young kid, and she was the first one to beat them, and then I beat them on my own after. It's good times. It's good times. You should play them. They're good. Mario Kart.
Yeah, go with Mario Kart and or Mario Party. Just any of the Mario, like, party games. Not the Mario Party games, but the Mario party games.
The Mario games that you play at parties.
Yes.
Question number 20. What is more important, gameplay or story? Basically, if it's an RPG, the story kind of becomes more important than the gameplay because the whole point of a role-playing game is to play your role in a story.
Become, like, immersed in the
And, I mean, the gameplay is obviously important as well because it's a game and you're playing it. But when it comes down to it for RPGs, story is the prevailing factor for enjoying it or not. Unless, like, the gameplay is, like, almost unplayable. But otherwise...
It's about 50-50.
Yeah, but otherwise, in general, it's about 50-50 for that. Question 21 is, which game had the best graphics or art style?
BioShock, just because it's really pretty to me. But then, art style, I would say Don't Starve. I just think it looks cute. Because it looks like Tim Burton / Series of Unfortunate Events. And those are two of my favorite art styles. And then put into a game, it looks good.
Skyrim for graphics. And then for art style, I would go with Wind Waker.
Number 22, the game with the best story.
I've thought about this question for about an hour, and I can't answer it.
It's such a hard question.
I'm gonna go with the Metroid games.
The entire BioShock series, and then tie The Last of Us.
23 is a game that you didn't expect to like, but then after you played it, you really did like it. Magical Diary.
Number 24, what is a game that you've played more than 5 times? Pokemon Crystal, Pokemon Red, Spyro, but I don't remember which Spyro it was.
Pokemans. Alright, so Pokemon Red.
All of them.
Most of them.
Except for Y.
Most of them. Not Y.
He's currently playing Y.
Yeah. Final Fantasy Tactics Advanced. Bleh. Fallout 3. Not Fallout New Vegas. Just like
I've
played it like 3
I've
times.
watched Fallout 3 at least 5 times. I've played it once.
Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, Donkey Kong 64, Super Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Spyro Ripto's Rage. Not the first one though, which I still forget the title of.
I think mine was Ripto's Rage. I think
Yeah.
that sounds familiar.
Yeah, and Golden Sun and Golden Sun, the second one. I forget the name of it.
2, the second one's the sequel.
Is it just Golden Sun?
I don't know.
Oh.
We're gonna go with 2.
Number 25 is, what game setting do you wish you lived in? I would go with Minecraft. It's because I could live a nice little simple life and I can make like computers and stuff that are the size of football fields, but whatever. I could do that. I could go and punch pigs to death and eat pigs. Have a good time and enjoy some beautiful block scenery.
I'd go with Azeroth. Just all of it.
But only if...
Only if I get to be a blood elf hunter. I just want a bow and pointy ears.
That was the spur of the argument.
And I want to be able to jump and then do a twirl. That's all I want.
Number 26. What is your favorite weapon in a game or from a game? I would go with the beam rifle from Halo series. Because I like sniper rifles and I like aliens and super cool technology, and it goes when you shoot it. So I like it. I like it a lot.
I like the Lancer from Gears. I just like the animation when you use the chainsaw because it changes the camera angle and you get to see your guy cutting someone in half, and it's funny. Number 27, what movie / book / anime / comic / TV show do you think would make a good video game?
The Dresden Files, which are a book series, and it had a TV show for a time. It's about a magician / detective. It's pretty cool, and if done right, it would make a pretty cool game. As for anime, Attack on Titan, if done right, like if it was like an open world kind of thing, like almost Skyrim-esque, that'd be cool, but also not Skyrim-y, because it wouldn't be like you wandering around the world because you'll get eaten by giant naked people.
For movie, I know that they have made one before, but I would like a better version of A Series of Unfortunate Events game, because there was one, I think it was on the GameCube, and it was okay, it was just not super great. For a book, I don't know how they would do it, but maybe like It by Stephen King. I think that'd be kind of cool to have like a horror game with Pennywise. I think that'd be kind of neat. TV show / anime, like I guess a WoW clone of Avatar, where you could make like your race, which would be like what bender you are, and I feel like that'd be really fun to do.